come on. Perfect. Oh, perfect, perfect. Hello, Miss Amy, and welcome to Waypoint Chat. I have been
Hello.
looking forward to this conversation all weekend. I was ready. I was ready to have this, to pick your brain into these different healing modalities and just to share your experience and how you've kind of gotten here. So, thank you for being a part of Waypoint Chat today. I'm so glad to welcome you. And
Thank
you
you. Thank
are
you so
coming
much for
from,
having me.
yeah, and we're coming from Tulsa, right?
Yes,
Love
Tulsa,
that. Love
Oklahoma.
that. I love that we're all, yeah, I'm Texas, you're Oklahoma, we're just all over. Yeah, I mean, we could be all over the world, right? I gotta love technology.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're talking about an invitation of healing differently because you have that backstory of chronic illness, anxiety, medications. And I have to kind of start by asking, do you feel like your body had betrayed you? I mean, did you feel like why are you not doing what I want you to do?
Yes, absolutely. That was the biggest problem that I was feeling on daily basis. My biggest struggle was with myself. I felt like I was in a war that was
Yeah,
me. It was with me. It wasn't just fighting life, fighting other people. It was who am I fighting if not with myself? If my body is betraying me, who else do I have here in this world to
right.
do life with me?
And then that's exhausting, right? Because you really are in this daily fight with your body. And I'm sure you are trying to find the answers, right? The doctors, the testing, the medications.
Yes,
Yeah,
constantly. I was going
yeah,
to so many doctors. I was trying everything I could. I mean, what's the other alternative to stop going to doctors? I mean, what does it
right.
mean about me? What am I teaching my kids? So I kept going to doctors, did so many tests, so many exams. Every doctor will send me to three different specialists. And
Yeah.
I accumulated a lot of medicines, a lot of new pills. I ended up with about 30 pills a day. But
Wow.
the diagnosis that I received were not, here's the problem and here's the solution. It was
Yeah.
basically just names. It was
Mm,
lifelong diagnosis like, oh, you have migraines, you have fibromyalgia, you have chronic fatigue syndrome. What does it mean? Nothing. Live with
yeah.
it. And now,
Yeah.
on top of it, live with the side effects of the pills you have.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just like I can't imagine living that life, but I think that a lot of people live that life.
Yes.
I don't think that unfortunately you are unique in this struggle. I think that there are millions of people across this world that would say raise their hand and say me too. That is my life too. So, was there a specific moment? I mean, was there a time when you really started questioning the story you'd been told about your body and your health? Like, was there just this like aha awakening? Like, how did you come to a place of this looking at healing differently that you did then when this all started?
Yeah, I think the biggest turning point, obviously it wasn't just one, but the biggest one was when I went to a new doctor that I relatively trusted because I stopped trusting doctors even.
Yeah.
And he said, maybe it's time to accept it because my situation was so bad. And he said,
Mm,
well, it might be your life now. You might have a few good days a year. The rest of the time, you'll have to be in bed. And he said, I recommend going to some therapy so you and your husband can learn to accept this new life and your life. But also in the same meeting, the same appointment, he suggested that I will do meditation.
mm,
Now, I was always into spirituality, philosophy, religious studies. I was always curious about it. And I also studied about Western medicine because I was trying to figure out my own symptoms and my own problems. But something in that was very fundamental. It was like an approval that not only the body shouldn't be separated to separate pieces when you go to different doctors, but
mhm.
also it's one thing. The whole body is one thing, but it's also the mind and body connection. It was like the ultimate approval that the mind and body was connected. And it led for
Yeah.
a big question of, if this is true, if everything is connected, then does depression and anxiety come because you're not feeling well? Or does depression and anxiety is what causing our body bad health
Mm.
and diseases?
I mean, that's such a great question. Like, I'd love to like think about that. Is it the depression and the anxiety itself, or is that then causing symptoms, right? And other like feelings. And it's that like, what's the root cause? And I can't imagine being told like you just have to accept this as your life. I mean, who can do that? I don't like how does that even work? To accept you're just going to have a couple good days a year.
Yeah, it felt like the doctor was talking to someone else. It
Mm,
felt when I was talking to doctors, they were having a different story. They looked at me as, and this is what I felt, that they are looking at someone that is lazy or wants someone to complain to, someone that is weak and fragile. And he had to tell me, you need to exercise. And it's like, it's not who I am. I
yeah,
always saw myself as a very active, healthy, strong person. I was a dancer. I was a gymnastic. He's not talking to me. It can't be. There was a
right.
huge disconnect between this whole conversation, this whole situation. It was
I
very
can only
confusing.
imagine. Like you could that doesn't even well, it didn't line up with your identity of yourself,
Nope.
right? This diagnosis of what it was. So he suggested meditation. And this is like that mind body connection, right? So walk
Right.
me through that for you when that started to click. Like, what did that look like? Because I think it's such a huge awakening for so many people when they finally start to connect back their body and their mind together. And that's where some real magic can happen.
Yes. I was
Yeah.
studying about it, and I was studying about uh, the subconscious and how it basically contains all our patterns of behaviors and our beliefs, and the power it has over our reality, on how we translate reality, how we experience reality. And
Mm,
that really connected everything together. It made a lot of sense how things work together between our mind and the
yeah.
effect that it has about the body. So next I was reading about the placebo effect, and I was reading a lot
Yeah.
of researches about it. And and the research basically was showing 50-50% of people that took the real medicine and didn't take the real medicine and had the same healing. Like basically 50-50%. There was a
Right.
research that did a surgery on people, the same surgery, and half of these people had only went under anesthesia, and they thought they had a surgery. And again, 50-50% of recovery.
Mhm.
So that was the ultimate proof that the mind is what heals our body.
Yeah.
It was mind blowing.
I said the research is actually astounding when you start looking at that placebo effect and how powerful our mind can be to
Yeah.
to heal ourselves, like how it's such a part of that. So you found hypnosis. Yes.
Right.
And so there's a lot of, I think, misconception around hypnosis, right? Because there's woo woo and there's woo woo, right? And for a lot of people, like that kind of crosses that. But I also know there are a lot of therapists, highly trained therapists, who use this as a very valid method of healing. And the research is there on it. So woo woo, not woo woo, it works, right? It works. So how did you find hypnosis, and like how do you like explain what it is to people when they ask about it?
Well, how I found it was in all the questions that I had. I came across a set of books by a very good hypnotherapist, Dolores Cannon. And she wrote more than 20 books that were basically summary of actual transcripts. She called herself a reporter. She didn't
Mm,
want to cross the line to the woo-woo and get
right.
involved with that. So she was like, I'm just transferring you the information I received. You
Yeah.
do with it whatever you want. and it had so much information. It answered so many of my questions. So I started reading more and more about it, and at this point, I was just curious about the tools, how she hypnotized people, how she get these answers. So basically, what is hypnosis? We many times we get confused with performative hypnosis, what they do on
Right.
stage,
Yeah.
which I'm not even sure if it's working or not, but
Yeah.
this is a
I mean,
different
it's
thing.
fun to watch, right? It's
Yeah,
funny. It's
it's
entertaining.
funny. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
for entertainment
Yeah.
purposes. So basically, hypnosis is a very natural state of the mind. It's a relaxed state of the mind or focused awareness. And if you want to explain it in science, it's a theta brainwave. You can measure the brainwaves, and
Yeah.
this is basically theta brainwave. So it's kind of it's what we experience as a very strong dream. But in
Okay. I've never heard
hypnosis,
it said like that. I love that.
yeah,
We experience hypnosis as a very strong dream.
yeah.
Okay. I love that.
And in
Yeah.
this dream, you have a guide on your side to guide you through the dream, a guide that can ask questions on your behalf, a guide that can take you back and forth to get more information, to see how you got to this scenario that you see in your dream, a guide that can take you a little bit ahead to see how it ended. And also, the biggest thing is to get answers. What's the meaning behind it? Why did we get this information? What am I supposed to do with that? So when you have hypnosis, when you get to this relaxed state of awareness, um, we can have a conversation with the subconscious. The subconscious is us. It's not a different entity. It's not
Right.
something to be afraid of. It's us. So I can
Yeah.
ask anything I want, the subconscious. And again, I like to tell people it's the subconscious is not going to tell you and going to say anything that will harm you because the subconscious is you. It's reflecting you. It's here to support you and it's very happy to share information that it's waiting to share with you to make sure that you receive. It's always there to help us and guide us. So I can ask any question on your behalf and see what's the symptoms mean, what's the dream means. And once we get the message, whether it's a dream, whether it's explanation of the symptoms that someone else, or it can be a story of why do I keep having this happening in my relationship? Whatever I'm asking is something that the conscious is really wanting to communicate with you. And this is a perfect scenario, perfect opportunity to communicate. Once the subconscious knows that you got your answers, that you got the information you're supposed to receive, at this point, it doesn't need to have the symptoms. Your body doesn't need to
Yeah.
communicate with diseases, with pain, with different symptoms. And the, the path to ask the subconscious, can you heal the person? Can you stop these symptoms? Can you do this for him? Can you do that for him? The subconscious is more than willing to help.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
there
because
to
now it doesn't have to communicate through pain and symptoms. It's
right,
communicating with you through the theta brainwaves, like this
right.
dreamlike state. And it's
Yeah,
so much more scientific than we give it credit for. I mean, so
absolutely.
did you, you, and I know you are a hypnotist, but when you were personally doing this and healing yourself, I mean, how did your nervous system change? Like, how did this change? You were not having good days, right? You were going from doctor to doctor to doctor. So I love the scientific explanation. What did it personally do in your body as you discovered this?
Yeah, it was night and day. Like someone turned on the light when you're walking in complete darkness. Uh,
Yeah.
it mentally it helped a lot because I understood life. I understood how it works. I understood how our body works, and I didn't have all these questions that were very confusing. Like I'm fighting everything. I'm fighting life. Fighting my body. I'm
Yeah.
fighting my brain. I had the answers, but the biggest change was how it affects, like you said, the nerve system. I was
Yeah.
feeling a lot more relaxed. I was calm. I didn't have so many anxiety attacks. The pain in my body, I was having pain all over my body. It went away. And and I
Amazing.
could function again. I could leave the bed. I could make plans. I can do things. My relationship got better and better and better with my husband and my family. Everything got better. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm floating on a cloud
Right.
and
Right.
everything is fine. Life is life. Life is meant
Life be
to happen.
lifing. We say it all the time. Life be lifing.
Right.
Yeah.
What change is not that bad or what we call bad things happen to me, and pain or symptoms didn't stop coming, but the difference is how I reacted to it.
Mm,
Instead of fighting it, instead of looking for a way to eliminate symptoms or things that happen, I'm looking at it with curiosity, with love. I understand
yeah.
that it's not coming to scare me, it's not coming to eliminate life and prevent me from enjoying. It's coming to tell me something. It's coming to explain me, hey, if you go that way, if you do it like that, you will enjoy much more. So
Yeah.
not completely different. I'm I'm much happier, I'm much more relaxed. I I don't feel the diseases anymore. I'm functioning again.
Yeah. And what about the 30 pills a day? Like,
Oh,
did that all
it's
go away?
one pill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So you went from patient to practitioner, right? You now help lead people through this journey of healing their bodies through communicating with their subconscious. Take me through that journey with you, because that's what I think is so beautiful about your story. You're coming as a practitioner, not, I mean, you have this deep desire to help people, which is always beautiful as a practitioner, but you're coming from a place of deep knowing, right? You know what it's like on the other end of that and what it felt like not to get out of bed. So when was this like, okay, now I help others? Did it just naturally progress, or was there a moment where you just knew you had to become the helper?
Yeah, I love this question.
Yeah.
It started naturally when people noticed the change in me and started asking questions, looking for something like, oh yeah, go to this doctor or do this surgery and you'll
Yeah.
be fixed. So I share the information, and I always like talking about this woo-woo stuff,
Yeah.
philosophy,
Yeah.
and and I really love talking about how everything connected, because I can communicate with people from different areas, people that are deep into science, people that are deep into religion, because now I saw that it's not conflicting. Everything is the
Mm,
same. It's all connecting. So I explain people about what I discovered and how it helped me. And slowly, by conversations, I basically started being a consultant, not therapist. I don't see it like that, but a
yeah.
counselor. And the hypnosis part came in a funny way. I never planned to be hypnotherapist, but when I wanted to keep learning how she did it, how she got this information,
Yeah.
how do you talk to the
Yeah.
subconscious? It felt like, wow, it's like talking to God.
Yeah.
And I started taking classes in hypnosis just to know how to do that. And you can just taking the next level without doing the job. So I had to do certain amount of sessions in order to qualify to go to the next level.
Hmm.
So I did the sessions with friends and families, just as, hey, can you help me? I just
Right.
need to do this
Yeah.
little script.
All
And
my friends and family have been part of my sessions. Yes, that's how that goes. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when people describe to me what they felt on the other side, the
Mm,
experience, the life-changing experience, I had an amazing client that told me that he went to anger management and he was uh, very struggling with alcohol. He said it solved things that I could go to doctors for years, and it didn't solve it. It wasn't clear to me like a couple of sessions with you. And at this point,
mm,
I just couldn't stop. I had to
yeah.
continue doing that.
Wow. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we're already almost out of time. These minutes go faster than I could ever possibly
Yeah.
imagine. So I want to ask you, for anyone listening that feels trapped by a diagnosis, because I do feel like that's what you feel, is trapped by these big, scary diagnoses. What is something they can do today to start communicating with their body, or making just those shifts into listening to what their body is trying to tell them?
Well, first of all, separate between the diagnosis to you defining who you are. Your
Mm,
diagnosis doesn't define who you are. You are who you feel you are, your intuition, trust it. Um, and I like a very simple exercise that I heard from so many people. It will probably be familiar to you. Go to the mirror, look yourself in the mirror, look in
mm.
the eyes. Don't start putting yourself
Yeah.
apart. Just look in the eyes and tell yourself, I love you and I promise to do the best that I can to take care of you.
Mm,
And the next step is just listen. Look at things when you feel symptoms, or when you think of a symptom or something that you're suffering from. Instead of looking at it as like, oh, someone is coming to attack me or my body is coming to attack me,
yeah.
look at it with love. Put the judgment aside and just with open mind, just let it flow. What is it telling me? What is my
Yeah.
body trying to tell me? Just just try for a little bit looking at it from a different point of view. If my
Yeah.
body is not my enemy, if my body is here to walk life with me and it is my best friend, what could it possibly trying to tell me? And see where it takes
Mm,
you.
beautiful. Yeah, I love that. What could it possibly be trying to tell me? Okay, Rick, I mean, so fast. You just, thank you. You're so lovely and just a beautiful soul. And I can feel your helper, right? Your helper, because you've lived it and you know the other side of this.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get a hold of you, wants to work with you, to have continue this conversation on with you, what is the best way that they can get in touch with you or to find out more about this?
The best way is through my WhatsApp, Instagram, or Facebook. But also a very good way is my website, amyhealing.com.
Okay, perfect. I'll make sure to put that in the
Yeah,
comments too,
and
so they
now
have
I'm
that.
starting a nonprofit. Not really starting, but it's in a process.
Yeah.
I'm doing while in my website, in my regular business, I'm doing sessions with people. I'm doing it, and the nonprofit is more focused on community events, group study, and group events, and that
Okay.
should be more accessible for people.
Lovely. Just beautiful. Well, Amy, thank you for saying yes, for coming on our show, for talking about what you do and just your journey to healing. Because I do love, there's so many different ways, and we're not trapped, right? We're not trapped by what a diagnosis might say or fighting our bodies. And you are the living proof. Like, you are
Yeah,
the proof of that. And then you've turned that into your passion and your purpose.
yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for
Thank
being
you so much.
here.
It was
Beautiful.
lovely talking to you. I had so much fun, and yeah,
Yeah,
time just
I know. I feel like
flew
we could
by.
talk for another hour, but
Yes.
yeah. All right. Logarithms are calling. So,
Thank you so much.
okay. Thank
Have a wonderful day.
you. Perfect. Bye, everyone.